Good morning, YouTube. My name is SV and we are playing Satisfactory. So in yesterday's video, I was working on a train station, so I'm going to walk you through it because I wrapped it yesterday after my workday ended and right before I went out to dinner. So we're working on copper today to ensure that that's good to go. But let's take a look at this train station because I really like the way it turned out so far. I've been thinking about what to do with these roadways and the signs, and I might make little tunnel sections for another video. But look at this train station. It is looking so good. I'm going to walk on down into it. I'm just going to show you what the trains are currently supporting. And then we really got to get copper and Caterium up and running. And some exciting stuff. I'm taking Friday and Monday off upcoming. So this coming Friday and then the following Monday, which means a lot more Satisfactory, which likely means a lot more videos on here. Alright, so we got our iron nodes. Remember, 8 iron nodes all coming in. That's all of that, which is a whole bunch of iron. 8 iron nodes going into the train station, so that station gets full super quick. Then we've got, here's our copper coming in, here's our Caterium, and here's coal. And so those are all going in. And I split them basically like, this is just one line and it's going into all 4 freight cargo containers. And then the same thing here with copper, or with concrete. And I basically split it. And this one I did, I guess, a little bit different than that. Over there I maybe did a little bit of overkill. Because splitting it once into this and splitting it twice into that basically would be the exact same amount for the most part. So we've got 2 lines of concrete coming in and they're going into the platforms, and then coal here is being split completely just by 1 line. And right now it's really nice because it's all getting backed up. And so when we do kick off any buildings, they're going to have a pretty decent backstock. I was looking for where my path is up to the top here to the actual trains. So you can see the trains here. They're all fully loaded. Oh, copper's working its way in, I guess. That's interesting that that's taking so long. We definitely need to overclock some of the miners, but okay, so we've got our Caterium train going. Copper's actually probably being delivered. There's that's concrete. Yeah, I guess it's technically limestone, but whatever. And then coal over here. And they're just sitting here loading and unloading. Like, there's no destination for it, so it's basically just sitting there. So in today's video, ooh, I got a hard drive. I forgot that I did like a little bit of exploring while I was finding some lines there. Finding some resources. So anyway, also the manta doesn't clip through, which look how perfect that looks. So there's the iron, that's copper, and then way back there is that one coal node that you're likely to find when you're starting in the grass fields. I think the starting location is like right over here somewhere, and there is a bunch of iron, limestone, copper over there. So we're going to build a new train station over that way at some point. when we need it, but right now, obviously, we're kind of okay. So as I mentioned in today's video, we're largely going in to finish up the train station and the input and output for copper. And then after that, Caterium, and after that, concrete. I think we have Caterium smelters already there and the belts, potentially. I don't know if we have the sorting down below established just yet, but I know it's 3 to 1. So 3 belts per side gives us 1 full belt out. I started doing this and I don't like the way that this actually turned out, so we're just going to get rid of it. My plan was to have like this intermediate platform. It's really tough to tell where it is. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we don't want to delete that. We just want to delete this. See, so I had like this intermediate platform that I was going to move things into, but I think I'm just going to bring the lines directly into that. So let's do that. Because that's kind of the whole point of this floor. It's supposed to be like out of sight, out of mind. So guzzying it up kind of doesn't feel like it adds a lot. Okay, and so we're doing a 1-to-1. There's 4 freight stations, and that's 8 outputs, 2 per station. In this case it's inputs because that's where copper ingots are coming down from into the station. So we're going to just build it as such. Now, do I want to do it on the left or on the right? We'll go like this. Is it there? No, autosave. Great timing, autosave. Okay, and let's just do it this way. So we'll just do we'll just do straight lines like this. Yeah, that's easy. That's a good way to do it. Is that saying it's not lined up? No, it's not. Wait. That was weird. Okay, next up. This is the fun part of Satisfactory, right? You're basically just doing good old fun belt work. And yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Should work. So easy to misclick that sometimes. So the whole point of this is I want to finally start getting into the production of actual materials and not just ingots, which is kind of all we are producing so far with our main base. Now, don't get me wrong, we've got a hell of a starter base that's been knocking stuff out of the park for quite some time. But I want to decommission that base sooner rather than later. Where's the line here? Okay, belt. Is it here? Okay, and this is misaligned. Better. And then that should be perfectly aligned. Yep. Okay, great. I don't know why copper isn't flowing down yet. That should be happening, so let's go look. Actually, I do know why. I never connected the outputs of all of the mergers down into these just yet. But also, okay, there's copper coming in, so where's the iron ingots coming out? Maybe we haven't, I thought we did hook up power. Maybe there's a break in power. Alright, anyway, we're gonna take them to give ourselves slightly more room. We're going to do input on this side. It's kind of what I did for iron, and it worked out super well. Even though all of that's there, I don't want to come across limitations, so I'm just going to go around and wrap around. And the easiest way that I usually do this is like inside out approach. So let me explain. This furthest one out here goes to the closest one, and next and next and next, so that way you don't have crossing lines. So that's, so it's got to go to these. These first two go to those first two. So like here. Is that lined up? Just like that. Okay. So there's that one, and then we basically just repeat like this and go to this one. And then those two back there. This one obviously will not be long enough to reach, so we'll stop it. And then that also gives us a nice guideline. So it should be right there, as we had a snap point. See what I mean? Super easy. It requires more belts, but the belts are basically free. I mean, everything is free in this game, considering its infinite resources. And then that's belted up. And then same thing on this side, making it super easy. So we're on that line. Oh wow, okay. So we're not quite on center here, but the right side is further away than the left side is. Oh, missing iron plates, interesting. And I gotta say, Whenever I do these live streams, I get these stupid spammers in chat. It's ridiculous. Like, I can get a life. I'm sure it's bots and stuff. Whoever's even designing the bots. Get a damn life, man. What a stupid ass thing. Yeah, let's get some resources here. It looks like we're almost low on encased industrial beams also, so we'll pick some of those up. Let's clear that. We don't need that sitting there. Iron plates. Let's take like 2 full stacks, maybe 2 iron rods. We don't. I think we're good. Got a lot of practice jumping in this game. And just drop back and pretend like we're in London. Man, I really want Fixmas to be over. Like, so much. I hate these gifts lying around. Drives me nuts. I love the way sorting rooms and stuff look like this. Sorting is done correct, right? Yeah. Okay. Just observing over there, making sure everything is looking good. Two more belts and we investigate why the copper factory is not fully up and running. Accidentally clicked there. Oh my goodness. There we go. And one more. Won't it be really nice when we have a dedicated encased industrial setup? Actually, at that point, like, it's not going to matter because we'll be on Mark V belts. One of the things after I build out iron plates, wire, and sheets, and all of that stuff, I'm going to tackle almost immediately the aluminum production. Or as our friends across the pond like to call it, aluminium. Alright, let's just double check everything is saturated. All the inputs are saturated. Yep, we're good. We're good. We're good. And on the way back, we'll check the other side. And it's looking pretty good on this. So my assumption is just power's not connected, because there's no reason this would be stalled. Cool. So let's see what's going on here. It's almost guaranteed because I cut the power line over here. Yep. So let's kind of walk you through what I've been doing with the power here. I've got a power line over here. Yep. So I basically clip it through that. Actually, turns out it doesn't look like it clips. Oh, it does a little bit. And then, you know, I'd attach the other end to here. And if we're going to go forward, we're going to go that way. And then I also do one like this. And there. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to see how far this reaches. And this is where we're going to build our next power pole. And I have it currently set each of these is exactly 10 meters high. It's really nice that this tells you how many meters tall this is. And I just put a connector on top of both. And then I extend it across, and it is wider. And that's kind of how I've been building those. The plan is to put street lights and signs and stuff on here. So that'll come in the future, but. And then we're going to do the same here, except we're going to do it to the entrance, I believe. Wire is too long, so okay, I guess we'll just do it to here. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'd like it here. Okay, we are going to build it there, but we'll do an in-betweener as well. And connect. What? How did I misalign that? Oh, okay, I see. One is on the corner, and then the other one is offset. Got it. That should match. Right. So then we'll do an in-between one for power, because power won't reach all the way out there. And I may redesign these in the future, but I kind of want to get some things up and running before we start doing redesigns. There we go. And there we go. So now let's connect power from this one to the next two, and then into the building, and we're golden. Ah, I didn't even have a copper recipe set. I honestly could have sworn I did this already, but maybe it was one of the times where I lost my save progress due to autosave crashing. Now we're going to have copper. And gets produced, and they're being loaded onto a train. I already have a train down there ready to go. So when we build our wire, cable, and sheets production factory, you'll already have a train full of resources and quite a bit of backup. That won't be for at least a little bit. It's the fun part of Satisfactory right here, folks. And that's that one. I wonder if we have to do it the other side. I could have sworn I did this on the sides, if not both. Oh, thanks, Scott. Scott's saying he likes the coated concrete. I agree. I think it looks really nice. Thanks for dropping by, Scott. Appreciate you jumping in. Alright, we're looking good. Let's check this side. Okay, yeah, see, I did do one side. Any we missed? Now we're golden. We are golden. Okay, so that's copper up and running. Let's double check, make sure it's being loaded onto a train. And once we got that set up, time to move over to Caterium. Caterium is going to be a little trickier. For one, we need to build like this entire thing. Alright, so we got plenty of ingots coming down. So make sure all all 8 lines are producing. Yep. Oh, look how cool that looks. It's going to fill up so fast. Awesome. That means this train's going to be full up super quick. Alright. Oh yeah. I lost save progress. I actually had all of this walled off. Like, I had a wall. Oh, no. No, is that on my sorting floor I had that wall? Yeah, I had it on the sorting floor. I haven't walled this off yet. Oh, we will. We're going to mirror this design all the way down for train stations to be kind of tucked away. Thanks, Scott. Have a good one, too. Thanks for dropping by. Alright, let's move over to Caterium. I do think I have to figure out what to do with this space right here. This plain space on the left. Originally thinking maybe this could be our Fixmas factory, just spanning all the way down, because it's a temporary thing anyway. I had to build this crossing down here below for the copper train to leave, and we kind of needed it to jump onto that line as like wrapping it back and coming back onto the original intersection was a little problematic in terms of the crossings. There were too many crossings there. So let's put some nice little details here right now. I like the way this white concrete looks. It definitely looks like a sidewalk to me. I think I already put all the smelters in for Caterium. And that right there is going to be concrete. We still need to get a spot for quartz and silica. That'll be the next tier 1 production. I know it's probably not exactly tier 1, but I consider tier 1 anything you're making either in a constructor or a smelter. Meaning like from raw to that. Alright. So we've got that. Let's take a little further right. This is what happens when you don't have that little curve that we've been designing. Alright, let's take a look. So for sure we don't have power coming in here. Oof. Okay, yeah, okay, 2 things. One, I must have run out of plastic because the roof isn't on this yet. And then I was really trying to figure out what the ratio was going to be here. And oh my god, these effing fucking Fixmas gifts. Bye. And then also, can I build this or not? Damn it, no reinforced iron plates. Do I have materials to build a couple? Okay, now we'll just do this and throw this away. Free up an inventory slot and then we'll see when that's complete. Alright, so let's getting back to the ratios here. So it's an input of 45 and output of 15. There are 52 smelters here. Times 15 is a full 780 line. Okay, so that's great. That means we can have output of a full 780 line from one full side. So 780 line here, 780 line over on that side. The problem is that it's 780 divided by 45. 17.33. Now, that means you can do 17.33 smelters per line, and we've got 52. So 52 divided by 17.33 means basically 3 lines. Oh, math. So 3 lines of raw materials getting split into these 52 constructors, and then output is 1 line. See what I mean? Fun times. What I've been building is 8 outputs from the train station into 8 rows, and then 8 outputs out of smelters into 8 inputs in the train station. Basically to scale. One train is not going to supply enough materials here, but we'll have multiple trains running for Caterium. And so it should be a constant production. The moment we start to see Caterium backing up at a train station and overflowing and not coming completely in, that's when you build a second floor, because now you're bringing in more raw material than you are producing output. And so that's my logic in this system. And Caterium is going to work better. It's actually, I think concrete works the same way. They're going to work better than iron ore and copper ore, because those are more of a 1-to-1. This being a 3-to-1, likely 3 floors would get us the same result of what a copper or an iron setup would do. So with that, let's build all this shit up. That's kind of my logic there. I mean, this system, we're going to be producing more stuff than our starter factory for sure in the setups we've got. But there are some limitations. For example, like number of belts coming out, right? If you build more floors, that's great. You'll just have consistent stream of 780s out. But like, you know, 780 times 8, 6,240 is potentially the max material you're going to get with some of our builds here. Now, I could say maybe for future floors, split it to its own separate belt, split it to its own separate train station. We've got plenty of room for additional trains. We could redo where trains start, stop, basically like where they're located on the train platform, to add a the second output train slash an input train. We could have 4 train stations per factory. There's plenty of space there. We could do them back to back, so even more. It would slow some things down a little bit, but it would actually be easier to build them that way, and probably more. That looks like it was placed incorrectly. And probably slightly more efficient that way. So anyway, we'll take a look here. So the nice thing is we already have an output of, or not an output, but we have like a Caterium train set up to bring us Caterium already. So that part is nice. It's only one resource node. I just thought of something. There's one that's actually pretty nearby our main base. I could do like a quick pit stop over there and double up. Have our first train run to 3 different spots before it comes here. Definitely have to think about that one. Or do I want to just build it into something? Alright. So there's that. We don't have plastic. So let's get some plastic to finish this roof off. And we'll design the middle at some point. I like the idea of doing a little bit of a design pass after we've got some, at least the basic materials kicking off. But like imagine a reinforced iron plate factory and a rotor factory like these sizes. Think about how much we're going to be producing. Now for those of you new to the channel, I am playing with mods, one of which is all of my resource nodes are pure. So I have the assumption that that is the case, which makes it really nice to not have to deal with comboing different lines just for the sake of it. So as an FYI. Plus that allows us to build real big, and that's the point of this playthrough. Plastic is actually on this side. Auto save time. No, screw it. Just let's take the whole batch. I have enough concrete? I certainly do. It's nice having this little car next to my exit just so I can easily pop on by. Let's go this way. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this street. Just yet. I don't know. What if I build like a building a little higher up this way? Build this like a 2-tier city? Potential thought. Trains would be a nightmare. It's this side that we were working on. Let's just go to the roof of it to make it easier to build the roof. I wanted to use the Smart Foundations mod, but right now it actually only applies to a few foundations, not all, so I wouldn't be able to build these plastic ones like this, these coated concrete ones. So I figured If I can't build everything with it, what's the point of me using it? So I'm not using the standard foundations, basically. Had years of using those. Maybe not years, like years. So we have the opportunity to use something new. Let's do it. Alright, while we're at it, let's just tackle this top part. Hey, what did we got? Ooh! Oh, that's actually good. I don't actually need the inventory slots. I'm gonna go with that. I don't know if that's good. I would rather have recipes without screws. Whatever. I'm not really good about determining which recipes are the good ones. I know basically you're looking to see if the amount of materials you're putting in gets you more, gets a better yield on the other side. I'm not as familiar with the exact ratios on everything to be able to tell you what the yields are on basic recipes, let alone what they are compared to the alternates. Okay. So we built it up this side completely. Yep. And so let's build up this side, and then we'll add our power beams. I don't have lights in the copper factory yet. That's what I mean about design passing. We may pause on the design pass on this one as well to start getting things kicked off. And that could be like a good project one day. Hey Jay Marshall. Thanks for jumping in the stream. I'm doing great. How are you? I know I stream at kind of weird times. I stream before my workday starts. I work from home, and my company runs on Pacific time, and I am in the Central time zone, so I have a little bit of nice, relaxing start to the morning. Typically involves a little bit of Satisfactory, a podcast, or a movie, or a YouTube stream, or something on the other screen while I'm building out the factory. Some things I save just to kill time on, and some things for example, if I'm building giant groups of foundations, I don't know. I mean, I could put that on the stream. When I do extended streams, I'll likely be building stuff like that. We can just sit back and chat. So if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, feel free to jump on in if you see me go live and say hi. Building for sure what would be considered a mega factory, just in a slightly different way. All my previous builds were everything in one building. Outside of one, I had one where it was kind of a unique way to do things, where I had a factory for a specific part. So if I needed rotors, I had a rotor factory. but I belted over the materials to build that, like kind of by itself. So imagine like I took the like, you know, it's 3 iron ore nodes, and they all got belted in to build a rotor factory. It's kind of cool. So I had separate factories. It was all in the dune desert. Separate factories that produced each of the materials. And then just walkways. And then I had the, if you're familiar with the dune desert, I had my hub and everything up all the way on top of the cliff. It was a cool look, but it was definitely like I hit a wall at some point, because how are you going to build plastic and stuff like that? Oh yeah, I was coming up here to do some architecture. And do metal beams in here, as we've been doing. And then we do a connector. And then this way. Oh, Jay Marshall says, I'm doing basically the same thing that he is for his channel. Distributed factories with intense logistics. I'm using covered conveyors, 50-to-1 packer, and fix-it networks for control. Ooh, that sounds super interesting. Jay Marshall, I'm gonna have to check that out. Intense logistics is right though, huh? Using all of these trains is it's cool, but it's also so much. What? How did that happen? That was weird. Okay, great. And then let's get our beams for our power lines. Super annoying right now. I hate Lua coding. I don't know what you're saying, but sounds cool. I gotta look into that. Oh, autosave. It's like the sound got really quiet all of a sudden for some reason. I don't know why. There we go. Adding that piece. I'm using trains for collection, dot distribution. Think of an Amazon fulfillment center in reverse. Oh. Okay. Oh, I like that idea. I'm very much like, do you ever get into those moments where you're all super into a game and basically not only are you playing it, but you're also watching YouTube videos about it and watching the live streams of the devs and all of that stuff? Like, that's me right now, where I'm watching different people with their different builds. I'll tune into Twitch streams and see what people are building, checking out different YouTube channels. It's awesome. I don't know what Lua is. I gotta check out Lua. You've got me interested, Jay Marshall. more here. We'll run the power lines. Let's get it going. Get Caterium up and running. I'm not sure if we'll get it fully there, but because trains are a pain in the frickin' ass. But we'll get it to a decent spot. Alright, do I have the materials for this? Ooh, I think we're probably gonna have enough. Yeah, it's only one cable per. This is like my new favorite way to build power, is attached to these beams. I think it looks so good. Let's just attach them like this now, so then we could tackle the connections from the walkways. Oh wow. Jay Marshall listens to classical music while building Satisfactory. That's like some beautiful mind stuff right there. I can see that being super relaxing. A very clean layout style, like the spaces between the machines, very elegant. Yeah, I'm very much a everything uniform, everything has a place kind of builder whenever I possibly can be. Concrete, and when constructors come into this layout, they are going to be side by side because they take up an actual full foundation. Because the footprint of this is already massive per factory. So I didn't want to increase it even more by basically doubling it, because you're basically putting a full foundation in between. So it'll be a little bit more crowded on that front, but it's still going to be side by side by side like this, and then you've got these walkways. That's going to remain. Unpack them so close as possible kind of guy. Yeah, I get that. You know, the realization I had, I used to be very similar to that. The realization I had is you basically have infinite space to work with. And sometimes defining limitations for yourself helps with productivity. Like when you basically just say, whatever, I'm going to build it, however I want to build it, it's great because you're going to get some stuff put down, but you also are going to have just kind of things all over the place. And I like the idea that if I sent somebody this save, they could just navigate and figure something out, troubleshoot. Whereas like my previous factories, they'd be like, where the hell is this being made? What is the rhyme or reason here? So, kind of my thought process when building on this save here. My biggest problem always is how I transfer materials between locations, whether it be in one giant building or separate buildings like this. I have one building creating exactly one finished good, so it's pretty easy to make some standard floor plans. I do like that. I will say, I'm going to break that rule here for myself, because currently it is one finished good, but I don't need a separate building for screws, for instance. I don't need a separate building for plates. I'm going to do a plates, iron rods, and screws building, where half of one side is plates and iron rods, the other half is screws. And then you just build floors up. That's kind of how I'm going to tackle that. This is always the tricky one. I almost had it. Yeah, it is a game of logistics management and patience. You are absolutely correct. But also, you know, I kind of equate this to like, I was talking to a neighbor the other day, or yesterday actually, and to me, they were talking about building a jigsaw puzzle. I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And then I had this realization, like, that's kind of what I'm doing every single day when I play this game. Is a jigsaw puzzle. Jay Marshall, I did one video back when I was doing some Oxygen Not Included videos where I did like a save game Saturday or save game Sunday, where I basically took someone's save game and took a look at their base within Oxygen Not Included. If you want to send me a link for your factory, I'm happy to take a look at it and we'll take a little tour of it on the channel. If that's something you'd be interested in. I feel like that'd be cool to do. I'm always down to look at cool new saves, see what people are working on. Alright, we got ourselves some power here. We're almost done with this side. Don't know how much time we have to actually build a train station, but hopefully we have some time. Okay, cool. Actually, I wonder if these are all... I was going to say, I don't know if they're all flagged for Caterium, so let's just do it. I think the other side is, because the other side was going to be my test side for how much was coming in versus how much was coming out. Let's autosave go. We'll probably do the paint job on this later. Well, for one, I don't have the color cartridges on me. Ooh, you know what I just thought about for that middle space between the train tracks? How do I put this? I don't want to use the word garbage, but like a garbage factory. And what I mean by garbage factory, I mean like a solid, like a biomass to solid biofuel, a leaves to biomass, a slugs to power shards, a what was that last one I was going to oh yeah, flower petals to color cartridges. I think that's a good spot for it. Ooh, I like that idea a lot. We're absolutely building that this weekend. It'd be a cool, like, super long building with a bunch of BS. And then I don't think I'm gonna run a train to it because it might actually be a problem logistically with my other train networks. Oh, for sure. J. Marshall. I appreciate you allowing me to take a look at some point. I love it. I had a buddy that I was trying to get like to play Satisfactory with me. We played one time and that was about it. It's unfortunate because I effing love this game. Is this center? This would be center. Architecture, steel beams. When you run something in a server, J. Marshall says he's running this game in a server. You said it's on your server. I assume you're not hosting a server off of a physical machine that you own, but you're having that server hosted somewhere else. Could you leave the game running in the background? And things being produced for you? How does that work? Long live the color gun. Yeah. I don't know. I did not like that color gun. I'm of the mindset of kind of good riddance to the color gun. Sorry. There we go. There. Let's get our steel beams over here. We're making good progress on today's episode. On a very special episode of Satisfactory. Is that correct? Okay, that was correct. Why does this feel like it's so much taller than usual? Maybe I'm crazy. Oh wow, I might need to get a server. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be there. I think this is where the line is supposed to be. We made that original one too tall. Alright, I gotta reset these autosaves. I haven't had a crash in a while, so I feel like we're safe. Well, maybe we haven't had a crash in a while because the autosave is set to 5. You know, I have that thing that says break notifications on. I don't think I've ever seen a break notification. And let me tell you, I definitely play in long enough stretches where that's probably warranted. Okay. That was not my finest hour in jumping. Alright, I think that's the actual correct placement. Run your business from your house. Heck yeah. Okay, now I didn't want a foundation there. Thank you very much. Alright, so we gotta redo that up there. At some point I'm going to figure out how I'm going to squeeze in a staircase up to this floor. But not today. Not today. Yeah. Definitely felt like an off angle. This feels better. It's funny when you do this enough times and you're like, you know, something feels like off, and it's one literal meter higher. What a weird thing. Yeah, that should be there. And this is always something that happens in Satisfactory. You're like, oh, I feel really good about this, and then you realize you have like one mistake that spiraled everything out of control. At least you can't scream when you miss a jump like Tom does. Who's Tom? Oh, Total Eclipse. Total Eclipse, yeah. I enjoy Total Eclipse. I like watching his videos. I pop into his streams occasionally as well. I work from home, so I have like multiple things up on my screens usually at any given moment, and normally if I'm looking to build up some materials in Satisfactory, I'll fire up the laptop in the living room and just let that run. Like I had to tell my boss, was like, hey, by the way, I know that this person is friends with me on Steam. If you hear I'm playing a game in the middle of the day, it's not because I'm actually playing a game, it's because I have Satisfactory running in the background, producing materials. Oh shit, I didn't even belt these up, or wire these up. You know, I really dread building the train stations and getting all of that belted up. To me, that's like one of the more tedious pieces. Trains are freaking cool to transport stuff super long distance, obviously, like that's what they're built for. But damn, are they logistically a nightmare, especially with the train signals now. I mean, I'm learning how those are to be used to minimize issues, to minimize delays, things like that, but holy cow, it definitely adds a layer of complexity, and like, the game doesn't teach you anything about it. Oh, nice. Jay Marshall. Yeah, he's I like Total Eclipse a lot. He's a good dude. Super nice. Always talkative in his streams. Oh wow, yeah, I was thinking about that. Oh man, also, I gotta say, I was watching a video, oh man, I can't remember the YouTube guy's name. He was doing a tour of his hub today. Well, I'm not sure when the video went live, but I watched it today. And he was using programmable splitters to split his materials and sort them. Why did no one tell me, even though I think I called it out in the video. I thought programmable splitters currently were no different than smart splitters. But that's not the case. You could actually pick multiple items to be sorted into different lines via them. Like what? I was shocked when I saw that. So I potentially maybe didn't have to build, oh, I don't know. What's 8 times 44, I think I built. Yeah, too many. I'm not even going to do the math right now. Smart splitters for my sorting solution. So when we get programmable, we're redoing that to something way more manageable and less insane. It's literally the only thing on the MAM that I haven't unlocked outside of Fixmas stuff, but who cares about Fixmas stuff? It'll be gone here in a few weeks. Pre-sort lines to groups to increase your handling capacity. Yep. I was not aware that that was an option. I legitimately thought, I don't know why, maybe at some point they were the same, that there was no difference between them. So I was quite surprised to find that out this morning. Which of course makes me, well, I spent so much time doing that sorting solution though, like holy cow. And all materials are sorted. Every material that potentially could come up, sorted outside of BS like Fixmas again. If you're going to introduce something like Fixmas into the game, fully introduce it, right? Excuse me. Like for example, like I need to be able to sort it. I need to be able to handle it just like the rest of my materials. So you know, do that. Coffee stain. Through the manageable, you can throw the page that says important reading before using in a product. Yep. I can't believe, yeah, I have to, I have no one to blame but myself for the misunderstanding of programmable splitters. I just assumed that they were in the game as a feature, not a feature. But nope. I feel like automation is coming into the game at some point. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the feature of update 6. Alright, let's run power to this factory. We'll run it on this side. I mean, we'll eventually run it on both sides, but so let's go to the connector here. 2, 3 here. don't actually have a sidewalk on this side yet. So let's just build a quick one. Just, make sure that we have it. There we go. Gives ourselves a nice roadway. There's so much bad info out there regarding this game. I think that's probably true. You know, it's not complete yet, so everyone's still figuring things out, and then updates are coming out so fast that things change pretty quickly in here. Okay. So we'll put another power line here. Fluids are dirt simple once you learn gravity effects. Yeah, and I'm going to utilize that when we redo the power plant with turbo fuel eventually. At least that's kind of the plan. Just like thinking how I want to tackle some of this stuff. It's a hell of an intersection right here. Funny because sometimes I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's too tall, and then it's like actually exactly the right height. Let's say we go, actually the way we're going to do is we're just going to take a line, and where the line ends, that's where we're going to go. Let's say to right here. I'm not sure I exactly know what you mean, J. Marshall, about sequencing the startup, but definitely look into that. And this should reach to here. Should be able to corner. We're looking good. We're gonna have power over in our Caterium factory here soon. Thank you. I do think that this is a good idea to use beams as power poles. In addition to that, we're gonna add lights to them. I wanted this to be almost like a stoplight system. That was my original thought. And I'll attach signs and stuff to these as well. You can know which factory you're heading to. Here as an in-between to our actual factory. this is where we're getting a little close on the cable front. We were good before, but now we're starting to approach our limits. Okay, does this reach now? Heck yeah, it does. And like that, we should have full power. Oh, let's double check, make sure we didn't miss something. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Great. If a pipe is purely horizontal, it will feed everything it's attached to at the same slow rate. If you have an inverted U-hump that crests above some of the intakes, they will fill after the first. I think I've seen people do that before. It's I think how people used to do allocation for before valves were introduced. Alright, let's head down and let's see if we can start working on trains. See when my first meeting starts today for work. Just make sure I'm not late for anything, you know? Put a receiver beam for the power line across the street. Talking to me? You saying I should do that? Might have to look to see what you're talking about. Let's get the materials for... I'm not sure if I even have them, but let's find out. What's that about? Why is that up there? Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need those just yet. We already have all of those. Yeah, I don't think I have the heavy modular frames for this, or the computers, because I don't have those actually being built. Oh, I actually did have the computers. That's shocking. Let's get some more cable. Let this autosave pass. We might just have to handcraft those modular beams. Yep, I knew it. These aren't filling up as fast as I'd like them to. Heavy modular frame. So we need 26 of them. We need a bunch of screws and frames. Let's make this even, so I need 25 of them. I'm not carrying extras for no reason. The screws will be over this way. We connected the power directly from the street to the building. Neater if the beam is at the same height, you can make a perpendicular connection. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. I may have to reconnect the screws back from the starter factory. Just split out the 100 we need here. And we're just going to do some filthy handcrafting with 26 modular frames, heavy modular frames. You know, Jay Marshall, just for you, I'm totally going to do that when we head back that way. But I have to do that back for the copper factory as well, because we didn't do it for copper. And I still, I need to build a subway station. We don't have sorting done for Caterium. It's its own beast. I think we can dump this plastic though. We can dump the beacons as well. Silica. I'm gonna dump a bunch of materials. We head back. Lately I have been around on this at this time of day. I wouldn't say usually. It depends on work stuff. I've been working a lot lately, so depends on how tired I am, honestly. I tried to jump on whenever possible, but would you like to schedule your stream so I can enjoy it without silly Slack business meetings interrupting? 100%. There's definitely that's why I do some of the streams at the times I do, because I don't like that the way that looks exactly, but we can fix that a little bit. Clean that up a little bit later. I do plan on scheduling some streams for this weekend though. Like I mentioned before, I'm off on Friday and also on Monday, so I might just actually put some scheduled streams on the channel so you know exactly when I'll be live instead of just me popping up. So I have to just determine what time I'll be up those days and ready to go after taking the pup out for a walk and stuff like that. There we go. It's a little bit better. Oh, thanks, Jay Marshall. I super appreciate you just jumping in. Just the fact that you're watching. That's awesome. I'm really just doing this playthrough because I enjoy playing this game. And it gives me a reason to continue to play. Usually I kind of get bored a little bit and I'm like, oh, I'm done with this build. Let's start a new one. So this has been really nice to just continue. Alright, so let's figure out where these train stations are going to go. Okay, I have a thought on how I want to tackle this. Actually, let's get back into the car. I do it at this time because this for sure is a time I'm free and I'm, you know, up and about and got some time before work. Sometimes after work, you know, you're a little bit tired and you just want to relax, throw on a movie or YouTube or whatever and just chill. So that's kind of my logic in streaming in the mornings. And on top of it, I just throw it up immediately as a VOD. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Jim Marshall. I super appreciate you watching the videos. Right. First of all, I like this door to be concrete. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see here. How do I want to do this? Basically, I want the train station to be centered with this. So I'm just trying to find where the direct center is here. This is going to hurt. Okay, so this is the center. I'm going to mark it. And I'm marking it that way because I want the outputs to be better centered than they currently are. I'll explain what I'm talking about here in a second. So here's our good old-fashioned train station. So we are on this line. And it's too wide. And when I say too wide, I mean like not too wide, like too much, but more 2 as the number 2 wide. So if I want my center cargo container here, that's 1, that's 2, so that's my first cargo container. That's 1, that's, oof, doing it with that selected. So 1, that's 2, so if that's a cargo container, okay, that's 1, that's 2, that's the next cargo container. 1 dash 2. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Because you can't put a freight container down without a train station, which is annoying. Okay, I have an idea actually. Okay, that's where our train station is. And then freight containers. This way, this way, this way, and this way. And that should be direct center for all outputs. Boom. Perfect. Better eat some berries? Nah, I ain't about to be hit by anything. We're golden. And where's the next train line? Here. And we're just going to line this up. I think it goes directly to that. Don't forget space to run belts. Yeah, we got space to run belts up this way. That's the whole point. This should take me completely straight up, separated from the sorting. So we should have room to not deal with sorting. And then also on this side, we would have the same. Wrong way. Again, wrong way. Come on now. Mm-hmm. Let's just give ourselves a nice little walkway up. So, see what I mean? We're going to be bringing these up, and they are going to be directly in the middle. And then same thing over there, directly in the middle of our base. That's the best way to do it, I think. My coffee is done. Don't forget space to run belts. There's more than you think. Yep. Oh, this is the part that I honestly hate. I hate this part. So this is input, that's output. So then I'm basically, my logic is always out like this, and then having splitters. And delete that first one, and before you get like a good row of these placed, you don't get the cross line, so you just have to eyeball it a little bit. Once you get the first row, then you get these cross lines. It makes it so much easier to place them without having to totally look. See, I misplaced that one. There. So 8 belts times the number of stations. Don't say I didn't warn you. About what? About space? I got plenty of space. Plenty of space. So yeah, that would be one full line right there. Easy. Show you what I'm talking about. Because you think that I'm going to come out this way and up, right? Let's see where this ends. Where's that spot? See? So the way I do this is our output. So I usually put one down like that just to make sure that that's the correct distance. And I'll stand over the location, aim completely straight up. And then one thing to know is if you space it like that, this is just for display purposes. I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's a perfect turn. Obviously we're not going down, we're going up, but same thing there, so it's 1, 2. 1, 2. There. And so we'll do 1, 2, and like that. And that's how we bring materials up into the base. There. There. Sometimes it is tough to eyeball it. See, messed that one up. I'm telling you, something with the field of view lately feels like it's messing up my angles. I don't know if anyone else is noticing that. J. Marshall, you still think I don't have enough space for belts? Look at that. Perfect. This one goes to here, that one goes to the next line, and so on. "32 slots per freight card filled with 100 stack would be 3,200 degrees at 704.1 minutes, double belted, 2.05 times 4 freight cars per train." Yeah? What are you getting at? Where's my cross line? Damn it. I was gonna get a cross line already. Gotta remember I own this t-shirt. What? I don't know what you're saying now, J. Marshall. So anyway, we're belting this up. Maybe that's... I don't know if I really have the time to do all of this, but... we're gonna go as far as we can to get this set up. I could start getting a train over here. Maybe that's one thing we'll do, just so that Caterium starts getting loaded into the train station. And then just distribute it as we're working. Let's do that. Let's connect the train tracks. And that'll be the thing we kind of end on, because I do need to go to work soon. We're gonna need some circuit boards as well. And yeah, I've got plenty of. Alright, so we're gonna do input this way. And I'm going to break up this train line a little bit so that we are not intersecting with existing crossings as much. What a great place for an autosave. Okay. Too close to another switch. Yep. So let's take the train. Let's break it up right here. Excuse me. And we'll relocate this. And let's do that like right here. Still plenty of space to come in. Okay. Here to here. So this will be our input line. Stops right there, so we're going to take it to like here and curve it to there, so then just bring it in. Okay, great. That's really the only one we really need to worry about right now. I don't want to deal with the other just yet. But we will at some point. This one I'll curve a little bit sooner. So I'm just going to take it to, let's say take it to here. Then we'll curve it to here. And then this is where we're going to output and rejoin. So good. And to rejoin, let's say right here. Yeah, that's actually probably okay. It's probably a decent join spot. Okay, so we actually could potentially have collisions. Hence why we need to do some blocks. And our car's up there. So let's go grab our car. Let's go get some blocks. And then bring in the Caterium train into this. This technically should have power, right? Because it's connected to other stations that have power. Yeah. So we're going to call this Caterium or in. Oh, that was weird. I was like, what happened there? Alright. Let's go get the materials. This is the same way as my Amazon fulfillment in reverse. You need tons of space. My egress level is about 7 miles high for 12 stations. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. I think we should have the 16 circuit boards. We'll put these lock signals down, then we'll call over the Caterium train. Make sure that that's up and running. And we're likely to call it there. Because I need to get to work. And it's already been a 2-hour-long stream. It's funny how fast it goes. You know, this build has like 300 and something hours already. Circuit boards should be over here. Let's just take a whole mess of them. For now. I feel like we got a pretty good amount of progress done today. For the most part, Caterium is up and running. I mean, basically, the hard parts are done. And concrete, then quartz and silica, and then it's onto reinforced iron plates. No, then it's onto iron plates, iron rods, screws, wire, all of that stuff. And then we'll go from there. But enjoy for being so long, better than the Eternals by a long shot. Marshall, I think you're having two different conversations. Unless you're saying that the series is better than Eternals, which is pretty funny, if that's the case. Alright. Put in a block signal there. We are putting a block signal there. Is that big enough? Probably not. Let's add it here. There. And there's for sure going to be one right here. Okay. One there. And oh, there's already a signal there. Okay. So now we got to block off this next intersection. Yeah, I am going to put a block there. And then obviously one right here. There's one after. Yep. Oof. One right here. And then obviously we want one right here. And then we need a couple on that side. For this block intersection. That. And that. I think we're good. Usually do a little bit of troubleshooting when we get the trains going. So, all right, timetable. So Caterium train. Edit timetable. Let's go Caterium or in. Save changes. All right. Let's see our Caterium train coming on in. Any day now. Any day now. Is it just blocked? Yeah, there it goes. It was just blocked by a different one. Nope, you said your stream was long. That was a comment to that. I agree. I did not like Eternals. I felt like it was too long. It could have been a lot more done there. I figure I gotta name these two trains also. Alright, here comes our Caterium train. So it's going by our main base, which is right here. That's where home base is, the two train stations. That's copper. We are way up here. So it's well on its way. Here it comes. Our starter train is just still killing it out there. Making trips back and forth. Let's get that Caterium into the base. Funny, cause nothing will be smelting because we have yet to build everything up completely, but you know what I think I just realized? Do we have these set as I think we have these set wrong. Unload. Ha! He was waiting for materials. Okay. Well, anyway, we know it works. We know that it can find its way back here and back to the train station where all of our materials are. Anyway, I think we're going to end the stream and the video here. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the playthrough. Lots more to do in upcoming videos, so stay tuned. And like I mentioned, expect more streams this week if you are watching live, and if you're not and watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and get notified when I do go live. Thanks so much for watching. You have a great one.